What's happening, everybody? I'm Steve, and welcome back to Junkdrummer TV, where I give my initial reactions, my analysis, and my hot takes on the drummers of today and yesterday, and maybe tomorrow if I stick around that long. I am a professional drum teacher and a gigging musician, and I have been those things for the last 20 years. Before we get into the video today, I'd like to remind you that all donations made to my PayPal account, link in the description, in the month of December will be given to the Save the Music Foundation. If you don't know what the Save the Music Foundation is, long story short, they are a charity that gives musical instruments and music education materials to school systems that can't otherwise afford it. I've said before, I grew up in a low-income school system, and my school system could have definitely benefited from such a charity, which is why I've decided to use them as my charity for the Christmas season. So if you can, please help them out. By my accent, you can probably infer that I am a country music fan. Not that kind of country, but real country music. I love Hank Williams Jr., I love Waylon Jennings, I love Willie Nelson, I love, who we're going to watch today, Tyler Childers, and the drummer for Tyler Childers, Rodney Elkins. The honorable, nameless country drummer is the offensive lineman of the music scene. Because country music is so artist-centric, there are all these great drummers that are out there now and in the past. Names like Buddy Harmon, Eddie Bayers, Paul Liam, Kenny Malone, new guys like Rich Redmond, and then an old guy like Fluke Holland, who people just don't know. Hell, Fluke Holland is one of the most listened to drummer of all time. He's the drummer of the Tennessee Three, who was Johnny Cash's backup band. Fluke Holland is probably one of the most listened to drummers in the history of recorded music, and just only really music wonks even know who he is, and that's kind of the plight of the country drummer. But that shit ends today. So Rodney Elkins is the touring drummer for Tyler Childers. Tyler Childers, along with Sturgill Simpson and Chris Stapleton. I think Chris Stapleton is more like a soul singer. I think he has more in common with like Al Green than like a country artist, but he gets lumped into country. Along with, and this is someone who I think people have forgotten about, Hank 3 are almost single-handedly like the four horsemen of new country music. They are holding up a shield, defending us against super shitty Nashville country music, and I'm going to try my damnedest to get through this video and not make it a referendum on how bad Nashville country music is, but I'm only one man. Before we get into it, remember to give me a like, comment, and share. Give me a double tap on the subscription and the notification bell, and remember that PayPal link in the description. Let's check out Rodney Elkins playing with Tyler Childers, and we're going to be listening to them play Whitehouse Road. So, a warning to my usual viewers. I know you come here for over-the-top, chop-tastic, virtuoso type drumming. And we're not going to see that today. What we are going to see is what drums are actually for. That is laying down perfect, beautiful pocket for the band to play over top of. Drumming as a facilitation for the art. That's what we're going to see today. So, let's talk about that groove he's playing. That groove he's playing is sneaky, deceptively tricky. It's just a 16th note groove. He's playing just, 1, 2, 3, 4 quarter notes on the bass drum and snare drum, but he's doing this small little subtle thing, and he's putting a slight accent on the ands. That is this multi-layer groove. What you're getting is the 16th note, 1, 2, 3, 4. But by putting that accent on the and, you're getting that traditional, what you think of as like a 2-beat country bluegrass feel. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now he's playing it with the backbeat on the 2 and 4. That's deceptively hard to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You're getting that country feel of the 2-beat with the hi-hat accent on the and, but it's this is that real slinky Waylon Jennings type groove. It's deceptively tricky. 2 He's making it look very easy. Again, man, I say it a lot. If you just listen to drums on YouTube, you can get a distorted view of what the drums are actually for. Brother Rodney singing wonderful harmonies. So he's doing that multi-level groove and singing these wonderful harmonies over top of it. That's not easy. I know it looks easy. If you think it is, then you do not have the wisdom, the musical wisdom to understand. I got to get this out. This is going to sound really arrogant, but there is a level of musical wisdom that you get to when you can truly appreciate something that's this perfectly in the pocket and simple. It's simple playing, but it's what gets you the gig. This is getting you the gig drumming. For all of you who come here for the Carter Beaufords and the Gavin Harrisons and the Blake Richardsons, that's all well and good, and that's wonderful. But this right here is another one of those drummers that will never go without a gig, because he has, and we've talked about it before, he has the golden 2 and 4. He hasn't played a drum fill. He's played some crashes, and that's it. There's a concentration when you're playing this simple, where you have to put every cellular part of your body into those simple grooves to make it feel like this. I've always thought that Rodney, he's got this really nice behind the beat feel. I think Rodney sounds a lot like Abe Laboriel Jr. Let's talk about Abe Laboriel Jr. I think Rodney sounds a lot like him. Abe Laboriel Jr. Is most widely known as Paul McCartney's drummer, and I think this is the best description of these kind of drummers. On his bass drum head, however many tours ago, was a big comfy chair. That was the bass drum head for Abe Laboriel Jr., and that tells you everything you need to know about people who hire drums. They want you to feel like a big comfy chair, and Rodney has the big comfy chair feel. You know, he's been playing with this bass player for years, and they have that relationship that bass and drums can only get to when you've played thousands of hours together. And they've played thousands of hours together. It's a really nice drum set too. I have to say this before I go on. I think Tyler Childers, and again, I've talked about those other guys, Sturgill, Chris Stapleton, and again, man, Hank 3, he was kind of at the forefront of this new old school country. But Tyler, I think, is probably the for me anyway, the best of that country bunch. Sturgill's something else. Like, Sturgill's this fucking country guru alien, and then Chris Stapleton's like a soul singer. I think he's a soul singer. And Hank 3, of course, sounds just like Hank Sr., which is amazing. But Tyler is this, he's not a throwback act. What he's doing is he kind of just skipped all the shit music. And if you think of good country music was in the 90s, and then Shania Twain came along and really destroyed everything, it's kind of like he started from there and skipped all that bullshit, and this would have been the natural progression if Kenny Chesney wouldn't have happened. I think that, especially with Tyler's last record, I just wonder if, the superficial, get in the back of my truck with the cold beer and the Yeti cooler artists are seeing Tyler Childers the way that hair bands saw Nirvana. Think about that. Yeah. First drum fill of the show, of that song, right? And it was just 16th notes and real laid back. If you can't play like this, you're what I call a sweatpants drummer. Sweatpants drummer. You ain't got no pocket, and this is all pocket. There it is. He's keeping that ands going. Now he's using that the rod bell. For all you people who don't listen to country music, that is a steel guitar that Brother James is playing, and steel guitar is one of the greatest instruments ever. Nice bass runs from Brother Craig over there. That bass tone's killing. Right there, this scene right there where, you know, the drummer's breaking down and the bass player's playing these really beautiful, tasty runs. You can see Rodney's face light up when he hears that. That is a musician who is plugged in to what's going on around them. And that's what you have to be able to do to play this perfectly in the pocket and simple. So, you know, this is like the third or fourth chord. If you notice right there, he started doing that hi-hat open. That makes sense, because you've already played that groove a bunch before that. That, you know, doing that hi-hat opening for variation. You know, this is, I mean, Ray Charles loved country music, and he always said it was because of the stories. And good country music tells great stories. I think this song is like a country story song about somebody that Tyler worked with, I think. I've seen Tyler play a few times. I think I've heard him say that story. Big ups for wearing a camo shirt on stage at Bonnaroo, baby. Yeah. So again, that wasn't a bunch of modern drummer cover magazine drumming. And that is not what is the thing that everyone is looking for. That style of drumming is how you get the gig. Okay, we can stop this charade. Hot Rod, Rodney Elkins, one of my best friends. I know all these guys. James and Beeblebrox, the bass player Craig. I used to be in a band with those guys. I've known these dudes forever. Hot Rod's playing my drum set in this video. Hot Rod, I love you, man, and I miss you. I think that this band is single-handedly elevating the art of country music, and it's been needed. We've been like this, like dying of thirst human in the desert, just waiting for someone to bring us some water, and Tyler has, because this isn't like a throwback oldies act, where somebody has bought a nudie suit and used to play rock music and now wants to be a country guy. This is the real shit. And authenticity is like pornography. I can't describe it to you, but you know it when you see it, and that's what we saw today. So yeah, there it is. That's pocket drumming. Beautiful time. And it's the drums like being a facilitator. You're there to put down this foundation to let these wonderful songs exist on top of them. I know, he didn't play a bunch of 30-second notes. He didn't play in 15/16. But that is the exception to the rule. YouTube is eschewing what people think the job of drums are. This is drumming that producers want. This is drumming that singers, songwriters, and songwriters want. If you want to get the gig, you gotta be able to play like this. Here's the thing. Because Hot Rod's one of my best friends. I was at his senior recital. He has a jazz degree. This dude has so much more in the tank. He has so much more chops. He has so much more ability than what you saw today. But that's the point. You play drums without ego. You do not play drums with that. I call it like the when can I play a field guy? Like you see him all the time, and like, you know, like jabroni cover bands, like they're playing a groove, like, oh shit, where can I get a drum fill? Oh. Those guys don't get gigs like this. That's the biggest thing that I can hopefully get across in this video, is that this kind of drumming is what you do to get the gig. Now, to be able to play that perfect, you have to have a lot more in the tank than what you're showing people, and Hot Rod has that in spades. So big shout out to Tyler. I've known Tyler since he was 19. James, Craig, Beeblebrox. I don't know the other cats in the band. I met the violinist or fiddler at a festival, and I was so hammered I don't remember anything from it. But man, y'all are doing God's work, and I'm proud of all of you all. Merry Christmas, Hot Rod. I hope to see you over the Christmas break. And if you all enjoyed all that, please remember to give me a like, comment, and share. Give me a double tap on the subscription and the notification bell. And remember, work on your chops, work on all your polyrhythms and your independence and interdependence. But remember, at the end of the day, this is the kind of drumming that gets you the gig. And to do that, you got to keep practicing until it's easy.